With me here today in the studio is a core member all the way from Kogi State. Corper, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Can you please introduce yourself today?
Thank you very much, Ms. Salami. Viewers, my name is Oko or Chukuemeka. I am a graduate of History and Strategic Studies from Federal University in Oko, Ebonyi State, and I'm from Afikpo North to be precise. Currently, I'm on my 1-year national service in Kogi State, and I'm serving at Federal University Lokoja, Kogi State.
There's this question we always ask guests in the studio to know how frequent people do literary books in quotes. Yeah. So which genre do you specifically?
Basically,
prose, poetry, drama.
Prose.
Prose.
And poetry.
Wow.
Because these are the two areas that I'm interested in literature.
That's good. And then who is your best author here in Nigeria?
Best author is Chinua Achebe. And I have my reasons for Chinua Achebe. You know, Achebe wrote a couple of works, and one striking thing about Achebe's book is the historical insight it gives me, especially to the problems of society. Achebe's work will tell you the problems that exist in society, and he will also tell us as young people how we can go about solving this problem. So to me, Achebe is my best Nigerian author.
Can you give us a summary of this project you're running? The audience to have a clear picture of what you're really working on.
First of all, I want to say a very big thank you to you, Ms. Salami, for inviting me to be on your show and giving me an opportunity to talk about this project. And what's the project we are talking about? The project is Project Kogi Rise. Yes, this is the project we're talking about, Kogi Rise. The challenge we are having in our educational sector today is...
Let me hold it out for the camera.
Okay.
Very well.
The problem we are having in our education sector today is because the education is actually free of knowledge.
Okay.
And how can we solve the problem of education? When I graduated in 2017, it was a burden on me when I got to my community and I found out that what we call public schools today are indeed public. Because nobody actually cares how these guys who are in public schools get their own education. And when you look at their counterparts in the private sector, you see that they are doing reasonably well. And they can compete alongside international students. I'm not saying that students from public schools don't do well, but the bottom point there is that they do not have educational facilities. And what are educational facilities? A child cannot have good education without books. You understand? So what inspired me is it didn't just start in Kogi State. I had started a similar project in my local government before coming. And I titled that one, Let Our People Read, Our People Not Local Government. Yeah, so the Let Our People Read, that is where I'm taking my bearing for Kogi Rise. It's actually a program intended to run for public schools. The idea was let us raise books and build them libraries because there was none existing at that time. So we met people who encouraged us, who gave us very good books, and it's been working out fine. We are just about to launch out the program, that is make our first donation to the schools when I was called up for national service. So I had to...
In essence, let me interject. Okay. In essence, you started this project before coming for service.
Yes, the Kogi rights is just a continuation of the project, because all over the world and all over Nigeria, the problem is the same and the solution can only be one.
But
So
again, why did you limit the program only to Kogi State? Why Kogi State in particular? Because you said you started it before serving, before your service here, and then why you now limiting it to only Kogi State and not even your state and other states? Why limiting it to only Kogi State?
the program is not limited to Kogi State, but because of logistic issues, we are not able to cover as many states as we can. In fact, even in Kogi State, we are limiting it still to Lokoja, which is the state capital. So you see, even though our scope is limited, our ideas are not limited. So what we are saying is we are just trying to start from where we are. We need to start from the inside, and then we can spread our tentacles to the outside. So we started with Lokoja, so that by the time we are done with Lokoja, we could probably get 2 other local governments involved, and hopefully, if the state government buys into our project very well, it could become a statewide project. And but initially the program was crafted to serve the whole of Kogi State. But for logistic issues, we had to narrow it down to capture Lokoja first before we spread our tentacles. So we are still working on the idea, and we are hoping that our viewers out there will come to partner with us and then help us to spread this idea.
Yes, actually. It's like you have more flyers there that you need to display for us to understand better.
Okay.
And let the audience out there have a clear picture of what you have on ground.
Okay. Particularly, I'd like to use this opportunity to talk about one of the flyers we have here, and that is this. Those who write are always right. Yes.
Why? Why such caption?
Yes, I know that the caption looks very controversial. Yeah. And when I printed it, a lot of people were reacting. It's controversial, don't use it for your advert, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. But then I said no. Now, what's the idea behind that? Those who write are always right. The problem is this. Whatever or let's say, not the problem this time. Whatever you write down lasts. And it was Shakespeare who told us that those who write share in the immortality of the gods. So, writing is part of life, and is part of the things that will sustain life itself. How can we move on when we do not write about our experiences for those who are coming after us to, actually know what we passed through? It is true that people doctor history. People don't doctor history. People doctor a lot of write-ups. But then, people need to write to keep records. So the idea behind it is that people should learn to keep records. For whatever you write will last. And if you cultivate the habit of writing down things, one day, somehow, somebody somewhere will pick it up, and you don't just know how it could just change that person's life just for writing. So that is the right aspect of the writing. So that's it.
The way you're talking, it seems to me as if you're a writer. Do you write?
Yes, I do. I'm a writer.
What do you write on?
I write motivationals, and I also write history books. So this is basically my scope of writing.
Can you give us?
And I also do poetry.
Wow, that's wonderful.
2 of my works are actually, though not published, but then the challenge is formed. Currently, I'm working on a book which I titled Path to Nation Building, Reflections on the NYSC Scheme. So that's my second work. And then my first work, actually, I don't like to talk about the work so much because it took me a lot of energy to really get that work done. But currently it hasn't been published, and it is The You in You. It's a motivational book actually, and it hasn't been published, but I have the manuscript, and I'm hoping that maybe if I'm able to get good sponsors, I could publish it. So these are the 2 works I have, and I also do research and write-ups because my dream is to go into the academy.
So what motivated you to